I will not give you more than you can hold and pass on. Thus, you must embrace the potential within this lifetime to transcend limits you may have expected. This involves a fundamental shift. Your mind must loosen its control over where you are going. This trust necessitates that sometimes you be guided from beyond what you can know. To know is to recognize the mental comprehension before you step into what is possible. Some boundaries must and only may be transcended with the trust to step forward without the expectations of your mind. This is not an absolute form of guidance, as there are many phases which you must understand in order to progress. Yet, to recognize the critical nature of a transition where you cannot comprehend before you proceed is essential. This trust begins within you, to know the nature of the thoughts that precede a transformation that cannot be understood yet. To put yourself into the trust before you step forward is to know the nature of the feeling. The feeling of these changes embodies more spirit as a flow of energy you can pass on. Our goal here is for you to appreciate yourself as a critical part of the web of life we are creating together. Imagine that I must give you from a sacred spring. If I am to leave this spring, I could not pass on the spirit, the living essence of the blood of the earth herself. As I pass on to you some of this incredible essence, I cannot go where you are in the way you can be where you are. It is your calling to learn how to pass this essence on to others. And there are two critical phases of this. In the first, I invite you to consider yourself as a bucket. You are a container that can hold some of the essence I give to you. I am able to recognize when I give you more than you can handle and pass on with grace. During this time, you are essentially filling yourself and then ladling essence to others. For this to work well, you must comprehend that they, like you, have clear limits. Though you are giving them only some small part of what you are able to receive, they are not yet able to receive more than they can take in. Thus, you are charged with learning to recognize the limits of the people around you. And in this, the nature of the role you play is far less important than the relationship you have to passing on this essence. This essence is the critical fabric of a new way of being. You are sharing and spreading the natural vibrancy, the critical life force of what is yet to be born in the earth. The way you do this may take on many forms. Thus, when you consider who you are in this lifetime, what your calling is, you may want to step back from allowing your mind to guide this journey too much. It is not essential that you change fields of focus. It is essential that you change the field in which you are in. The energy field that you participate in is already a part of the fabric of the earth as it is. Thus, as you participate in transforming the nature of this way, you are changing a critical part of existence. You may come to recognize that those you are surrounded by are not capable of embodying much more energy. In this discerning how to be with people who cannot see what you see is one of your most important jobs. Now, with the first threshold, you are learning to discern how much the people around you can embody. You pass on the essence that is given to you through the way in which you live and interact with others. As you learn to share in a way that is healthy for you and those you share with, you will learn to recognize what is too much, what is too constraining, and what is just right. Through the process of struggling to learn these lessons, you will soon embody exactly what works, or you will not. To recognize when an environment is dominated by a field of energy which will not accept this essence is to know yourself more clearly than you ever have before. And in this, you must commit to making the decision to stay where you are and help this place change, or to leave and be guided by exactly what is best for you. And to do this, you must learn to elevate your own suffering. Your own suffering is not an acceptable, ongoing part of this life. Your suffering is designed to help you understand what does and does not work within the communities you share. You must be willing to move through some of this suffering, and you must not be willing to stay in ongoing dynamics that induce a suffering that you will pass on. Understand, to pass on the essence of the love that you have to share is to recognize that the way you feel emanates from you. If you are regularly suffering, you either pass on suffering or count on those around you to help you negate it. In this dynamic, you cannot play the role you are being asked to play. Thus, I invite you to recognize that as you discern what is and is not an effective way to share with those around you, you will gravitate to the healthiest ways of being. At critical junctures, you will be asked to take steps beyond what you can see with your mind. In these times, you must trust that the essence of the way you have been learning to live will take over and guide you through sheer magnetism. As you learn to cherish what is most effective about the essence in your life, this essence will resonate in a way that will lead you. This leadership is a spiritual guidance, and this spiritual guidance has its own mind. If you hold too many ideas about what you are and what you are not, about what you want and what you do not desire, you will not be able to trust the guidance of this spirit. As you do, you will find yourself in a fundamentally new environment, where the way you engage with others engages the spirit directly from us. As I give you essence into what is a bucket of your heart, you will learn to embody enough spirit that you begin to channel more in an ongoing way. This is the second phase of our relations with you. To find a way to change the field you are in, or to find a new field where you can continue to channel energy. This is a transition from what could be ladling, smaller amounts of spirit given to those around you through the ways you live your life and interact every day, into a flow of energy that does not stop. It is as if the bottom of your bucket opens and you begin to channel spirit directly in an ongoing way. The dynamic continues to flow through you in a way you can feel. Your vibrancy elevates to the point where you are always feeling the flow of life through you, and you gradually learn to recognize where it is going. In this, yet again, the nature of the work and way of life you live is not as important as the flow of life through you. You could work with money, trading goods, teaching children, cooking food, building networks of connection in many ways. The surface, the spirit, and the essence work together. In this work, you need to want an ongoing flow of life through you. And as you seek it, you begin to know it. And as you know it, you begin to allow it evermore. The flow moves through you from us on into others who are activating in their own ways. You begin to fill them, and they learn to ladle out portions of life force to others. They begin to seek the transition from a ladling into an ongoing flow. These phases are recognizable. You can learn to sense them and know yourself within them, and you can learn to accept them as critical parts of the journey itself. You will find that your desire to allow a flow to move through you will expose the nature of your choices. If you regularly choose to share spirit in a way that deteriorates, that falls into the soil without recognizing its true potential, and yet you make the same choices again and again, we will not give you more. We will not give you more until you are more capable of recognizing the consequences of the way you live every day. And thus, commit yourself to an honest awareness of what you are loving. Love is not the spirit itself. Love could be considered the first and the last word. It transcends language and links you to the potential of this life. It charges you to find coherence with those around you that the spirit may flow. The buzz, the sense of presence, the vibrancy that you may associate with the word love are the result of seeking coherence, harmony in the essence of the way you live with others. As you seek this, sometimes you come to critical junctures of struggle. These times demand that you learn to say no to the greatest resonance, to the most intense feelings you may feel, for resonance itself is simply the connection of energies within your environment. Energies connect in many ways, and sometimes become anger and even violence. The vibrancy itself must be drawn, bent, rechanneled towards the healthy, harmonic loving that enables a vibrant, presence that you can feel in the ways you may know as love. In this, please sense that you can be in love all the time when you commit to recognizing the ways in which the energy may get out of hand and need your presence to change. Once again, we are calling you to bring the essence of the life force of the earth herself, the blood of Kaiya, from where we are into where you are, from where you are into where we can all be together.